Good morning, 2A. So today for math, we are going to start reviewing some things that we learned earlier this year because we have finished most of our math for this year. So we're going to start reviewing some other things that we already learned and helping us get ready for third grade. So today we're going to review telling time to the hour and half hour. So I'm going to share my screen so we can share our chart. So a reminder, when we tell time, this type of clock that we see on a wall usually is called an analog clock. A digital clock is what we would see on our phone or on our oven or microwave. That's called a digital clock. But an analog clock is the kind that has the numbers going around starting at 12 at the top. So there's two hands on an analog clock. We have the hour hand, which is the short hand, and there's 12 hours on a clock. And then our minute hand is this longer hand, and there are 60 minutes on a clock. So the first step when we're telling time on a clock is we want to find the hour. So we're going to look at the shorthand and find the number it is on or it just passed. So this is important because sometimes it might be between two numbers, and we want to go with the number that it's passed, not the one that it hasn't gotten to yet. So for this one, you'll see that it's between the 2 and the 3 if I kind of draw an invisible line here. So it's not quite 3 yet. It's still in this 2 o'clock. I like to pretend that each number has their own backyard. So this is 2 o'clock's yard, and we're not quite in 3 o'clock's yard yet. So it's still 2 for my hour. And then to find the minute, I'm going to look at the long hand, and I'm going to start at the 12 and count by fives. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I know that this is 25. So it is 2:25. And that's how I would write it on a digital clock. 2, and then we call these two dots on top of each other a colon, and then the minutes, which is 25. Now, if I was telling time, if my minute hand was up at the top of my clock, we would say it's 3 o'clock or 3 o'clock. So that's how we would say it if it was on the hour. And if it was on the 6, we could either say it's 2:30, or we could say it's 2:30, because the minute hand is halfway around the clock and it has another halfway to go before the next hour change. So that's how we tell a clock the time on an analog clock. And then next week, we'll work a little bit more with telling it up to the 5 minutes and to the minute. So your activity for today is actually going to be to play a game on ABCYA, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So this is the game you'll play. It's on ABCYA, and it's called Learn to Tell Time Travel. So you'll press play. It will start the intro. You'll press the arrow.
Butterbean, no!
There's a little
What am I gonna do
video
with
of
this
this
cat?
cat. And there's going to be 4 levels. So you can't move on to the next level until you play 1 level. So there's a practice if you want to have a practice, or you can just go into level 1. So your assignment for today is to play this for at least 15 minutes. If you want to play longer and try to get through all 4 levels, you can, but you have to play at least 15 minutes. So the first one, if I click on level 1, you're going to click analog as your clock type because we already know how to do digital. So you're going to click analog, and then you're going to press next. And after the little animation happens, you're going to have to set the clock to 6 a.m. So you're going to have to move this, so you can't move the hour hand by itself. You're going to have to move this all the way around over and over and over until you get to the time you want. So I'm going to be at 6, and then I know o'clock is at the top. And now if I want to set it to a.m., remember a.m. is morning and p.m. is night. So I can tell by the sky that this is 6 at night. So I want to click my a.m. p.m. button and switch it to a.m. And once you think it's right, you're going to press check. And it will tell you if you're right or wrong. Now, if I set it to the wrong time, like this says 6 p.m., let's see if I set it 6 a.m., it will say try again, and I'll have a chance to try over. So once you complete all these little tab things at the bottom, it will move you to the next level, and it will get a little harder, and then you'll be doing half hour and other parts of the time. So you want to try at least playing for 15 minutes. And if you want to keep playing till the end, you can, but you don't have to. If you run into any problems or have any questions, you can send me a Dojo message or an email, and I will get back to you. I hope everyone has a terrific Thursday, and I will talk to you soon.